So anyways, let me just begin. So recently, I've been hearing this song by Francesca. I can't pronounce her last name. Is it Bastelli or? Battistelli, thank you. And the song is Defender. And every time I hear it, it brings me to tears every time I hear it. And let me just, I can't sing like my daughter, so I'm just going to read the words to you. It says, all I did was praise, all I did was worship, all I did was bow down, and all I did was stay still. When I thought I lost me, you knew where I left me. You introduced me to your love, and you picked up all my pieces. And you put me back together. You are the defender of my heart. And it brought me back to the day that he saved me when I met him at the Harvest Crusade about 26 years ago. But when I study, I like to look up words. And so one of the definitions for defender in sports is a player whose task is to protect the team's goal. So Jesus' task is to protect our hearts. He is our defender. I was in some of the darkest, saddest times when he defended my heart. He protected my heart. I already said this, but I'm going to say it again because it's in my notes. I'm getting ahead of myself. When he found me 26 years ago, I was a vessel of dishonor, filled with shame. He claimed me, he forgave me, he redeemed me, and gave me his righteousness. He protected me through a troubled marriage, but God has changed us and blessed us in our obedience to him. He protected and defended my heart through my son's heroin addiction for the last 11 years. I remember when my son was in the eye of the storm of his addiction about 6 years ago. I hadn't seen him or heard from him in a few months, and I didn't have a cell phone number for him. My heart was broken. But I knew God was holding it, and it was all I could do was pray, bow down, and worship like the song. It was one Saturday morning. During that time, I was shopping, and I suddenly became sick to my stomach. I felt nauseated, and I was in Home Goods, so that was not good. I knew something bad was happening. It never happened to me before, and it's never happened to me again. It was just this one day. And I knew in my spirit it had to do with my son. I know that was the Holy Spirit prompting me to pray. I left the store, and I called my husband in the parking lot, and I told him I felt like something bad was happening. We prayed on the phone, and we kept praying that day. That evening, I got a call from my son, I got a call from an unknown number, but when I looked at the number in my spirit, I knew it was my son. So I picked up the call, and when I answered, he said, I've been in a room for 3 days doing drugs, and I need your help. Please come get me. After we got him into rehab, and that was the first of many rehabs, he shared on that particular day that when he woke up, he was battling all morning to call us. He said he kept going back and forth and arguing why he shouldn't call us and the enemy. I know at that time it was a spiritual battle. He kept going back and forth, and then he said when he decided to call us, he walked out to his back porch, and he looked down, and he had his phone, and he found a pill on the floor. He says now, I know that was the enemy. I know the enemy had it planted there for me. It was an Oxycontin. I don't know what he does. But it was some pill, and so he took it. And he didn't call us. So he said once it wore off, he finally, at that point, decided to call us. Can you guys hear me? I feel like, yeah. So just looking at the time of the day, I know that God was prompting us to pray that day because there was a battle going on for me and my son. 2 Corinthians says, for our weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in God for pulling down strongholds. God was defending my heart and my son. I want to encourage you guys, no matter what you're going through or the things that you've been praying for so long and feel like God is not answering, he is working and he is answering because he's the defender of our heart. Sometimes all we can do is pray, worship, and bow down. His word says in Isaiah 45:2, I will go before you and make your crooked paths straight. I will break into pieces the gates of bronze and cut the bars of iron. And in Exodus 14:14, the Lord will fight for you. You have to only be silent. 2 Chronicles 20:17, you will not need to fight in this battle. Stand firm, hold your position, and see the salvation of the Lord on your behalf of Judah and Jerusalem. Do not be afraid and do not be dismayed. Tomorrow go out against them, and the Lord will be with you. For those of you who didn't attend the retreat last year, I spoke on supplication at that time, and my son was incarcerated and recently divorced from his wife. God upheld me and sustained me to speak about his faithfulness to his word. Even though my heart was broken, he was protecting my heart. 1 year later today, my son is reconciled with his wife and his sons, living at home, sober, going to church, and starting his own handyman business. He is walking with the Lord day by day. It is definitely a struggle, but he is doing amazing today, and I'm thankful for today. I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I know I'm thankful for today. And I do continue to pray for him. And I want to end with this beautiful truth, and then just share something else that happened after I was asking the Lord if he wanted me to share this. So when we left the session last night, my son called me, and he tried to reach me on Instagram, saying, call me ASAP, on my cell phone, and then left a message. So when I left here, I was thinking, oh no, what happened? But let me share this beautiful truth first. John 16:22. Therefore, you now have sorrow, but I will see you again, and your heart will rejoice, and your joy no one can take from you. And in that day, you will ask me nothing. Most assuredly, I say to you, whatever you ask the Father in my name, he will give it to you. Until now, you have asked for nothing in my name. Ask, and you will receive, that your joy may be full. And this is one of my favorite scriptures. It comes from Job 10:12. You have granted me life and favor, and your care has preserved my spirit. So when I left last night, I ended up calling him back, and he said, Mom, I've been trying to get a hold of you. He goes, I need to share something with you. He said, I've been praying. He started his own business, and so his work has been really slow. And he said him and Jenna were arguing. He's probably not going to like that I'm sharing this, but I'm saying it anyways. They were arguing about finances because he was only working a couple of days a week, and she wanted to get a job at Starbucks, but he's an electrician, and he started his own tri-county handyman. He can do a lot of things. So he said that they decided to just pray. And he said literally 10 minutes later, he got a phone call from a guy who also has a handyman service, who just said, can I hire you? I'm desperate. I broke my leg, and I have hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of work, and I need a partner. Will you work with me? And so, God is faithful. I don't know what tomorrow holds, but just like that song, he's the defender of our hearts, and he protects us. No matter what we go through, no matter how hard things are, he is with us. And that just confirmed again, because sometimes I can get a little like, do I share about his victories? But yes, God is victorious, even if he struggles, even if he relapses. In this moment, he is victorious. So that was just another, to hear him say, we prayed, we trusted God, and God answered, it like just blesses my heart. So it's been 11 years, and it's been a slow progress, but God is faithful to our prayers. So.